Hey everybody, it's Christine, and it is a dreary January day where I am at. Let's brighten things up a little bit with a Doodlebug design layout. I'm going to be using their newest winter collection, and pieces of it are in this month's double shot kit from the scrap room, and so that's the kit I'm going to be working with. I am going to also be continuing my grid series, and that is a series of layouts on my channel all about using grid design on your layouts, taking it back to the basics a little bit, but also taking your grid design and taking it up a level. So what I'm going to be doing today is creating a 4x4 layout. So I'm going to have 16 squares on their total, and I'm going to really play up the different patterns that are in this collection because they're fabulous. And I'm going to be working between the ones with the white background and the ones with kind of the aqua colored background, as well as using that blue background. What I'm going to do is create 4x4. So each of these squares is 2 3/4 inch squares, but I'm also going to create a line of solid color, and that is going to use that blue one that you just saw a moment ago. That one is a monochromatic patterned paper, so it's got a tone-on-tone look going to it, and I'm going to do one whole row of that, allowing the eye to have a place to rest and also a place for me to add my title and not have it get lost within the patterns. I love to use lots of patterned papers, but you have to be careful that you don't lose your picture and your title and all the elements within it. So approaching that carefully is always a challenge, just because thinking through how will this work best. And I can tell you, before I started this video, I moved those squares around in so many different spots, you can't even imagine. But by creating that blue line that you see there, I have got a perfect spot to add my title. The only other consideration I'm putting into my placement at this point is, like I said, mixing up the aqua background and the white backgrounds, and also not putting the same paper in the same row across, trying to, spread things out so that they're in different locations. It's always a little tricky when you mix and match so many different patterned papers. That said, within most collections, within these page kits, it's not too hard because, number one, you are limited on how many papers you have. You're not pulling out like all 12 papers. Number two, the colors all are meant to go together. So it works out okay. And one of the things I love about companies like Doodlebug is that you can intermix even within other collections. So if you had an older winter collection that you wanted to mix some pages in, you could, because their colors run from collection to collection. So that said, you can see I've got my grid established. Now I added on the word Snow Cute. I cut that out on my silhouette. I did a script font. I went with the script font because I've got lots of straight lines right now. So I want to soften the whole layout. So rather than go with a very traditional print font, I went with a very curvy script font. And you can see how nicely that worked to just soften the whole layout and not make it quite so graphic. I'm also going to pop up my title. So it is popped up with 3D foam adhesive underneath. Yes, that was exceptionally tedious. No lying there. But I needed some dimension to get started. Then I'm adding on some snowflake ephemera. And these are just bits and pieces that came in the page kit. And I'm adding those around my title to really create a scene around my title. The next thing I'm going to do is add on some enamel dots. Those also came within the page kit, and you can see those off to the right there. And that's just going to be another way to add it in a different texture and a different dimension to this layout. Now, if you're looking at it, there are a lot of options for what direction I could go with my pictures here. And that is one of the things that I love about grid layouts, particularly ones that have these bigger squares. I could add in a whole bunch of 2.5 by 2.5 pictures. I could add in some circular pictures. I could add in just a couple of pictures. And really, I went back and forth on what my approach was going to be. I had a lot of ideas, and you can see right at this moment, I've got several little pictures sitting there. But when I put this one picture on there and I created a scene around it, I really loved the effect that it had. So truthfully, I did not set out for this to be a single photo layout. but it really worked the best being a single photo layout. So that said, we're going to roll with it. As you know, I've done lots of grid layouts this month, and lots of them have had multiple pictures. So I kind of gave myself permission to just go with a single one this time. That said, if you're looking at this and going, I don't want to do a single photo layout, you can see how you could easily do a line of pictures or pictures scattered throughout all three of those other lines. Now, just as a reminder, the Double Shot Kit is a 2-page kit, and you can also add on the Flavors of the Month kit, which has 4 pages. You can get embellishment kits, you can get patterned paper kits, you can get cardstock kits. She's got everything you could want over there. I get the Flavors of the Month kit, and I get the Double Shot Kit, which means every month I get 6 new page kits to play with. I get a little taste and tease of what a collection is like, 3 patterned papers, some embellishments, some cardstock, and I can decide then, do I want more of this or have I had enough playing with it? I love getting the newest stuff every month and totally look forward to playing with them every month. And I love the variety that I get. Some of them I absolutely love. Some of them I'm kind of meh about, but then I use them and realize I actually really like them. And sometimes they're not my favorite, but more often than not, I use the entire 6-page kits, and I have 6 new pages done, and I have used the best, and more often than not, I love them. So, and you know, if you're saying that you love every single thing that you make, it's probably, you're in the minority, I think, right? Because that's just the nature of being an artist. You don't always create things that you just love. So all that said, do check out the page or the kits at the Scrap Room. I will link you up to those down below. You can also check out more of the Doodlebug collection with a link down below. And this is the 4th in my grid layout series. There might be one more this week if I have the inspiration. I'm not for sure. Still kind of debating on which route I want to go on that project. But do be sure to check things out. Check out the other layouts if you haven't seen them already. And we're almost to a new month, so there's almost new kits coming out from the Scrap Room. So polishing things off with just a few Nuvo drops. And that is it. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And we will see you again next time.